So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and let's do the OnePlus 15 versus the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra speed test. Let's go ahead and begin the video with a boot up test in 3, 2, and go, and see which one can get there first. Now, my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra does have the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, and it does have 16 gigabytes, or actually 12 on my version, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it is a 512 gig version. The OnePlus 15 is a 16 gig RAM, 512 gig version, but that has the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and it is the Gen 5, so it is the newest chip on the block here. It also does have a newer GPU, and in addition to that, it does have Android 16 as well. So it did look like that the Samsung did boot up a little bit faster than the OnePlus though. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and do a quick face unlock between both devices, and you'll see as I look at the device, the OnePlus actually got me first. Hold on, I think the camera was blocking the Samsung. So let's do it again. Nope, the OnePlus is just faster. It just seems to respond just a bit quicker. I might have the eye mode on where the Samsung requires me to look, but it's not much in it here between these two. It really isn't. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the ultrasonic fingerprint sensors. Now I just flipped them around for a minute because I don't have my left thumb set up for the OnePlus, but you see as we do the fingerprint, both of them are very fluid and quick there. So no matter what you go with, these are going to be very quick, near identical when it comes to unlocking on the lock screens. I missed the Samsung. That wasn't its fault. I missed the location. They're in slightly different locations. Pretty close though. But yeah, it doesn't really matter what you go with here. They're going to both unlock at about the same clip, same speed. So I would say in terms of turning on, it was near identical, and so was the unlocking. Biometrics on both of these is about the same. Now when it comes to just generally scrolling through the software, the OnePlus to me tends to look a little bit more animation, like the animations are just a little bit smoother looking to me. Just like the daily scrolling and everything, it just looks super polished, and everything is just really buttery smooth. They paid, I think, a little bit more attention to this than most Android manufacturers do, although Samsung has really been going to town with One UI 8 as well, Android 16, but I don't feel it to look quite as fluid. I feel like it's fluid, but I feel like it's more of a snappy, fast look. Like it looks a little bit like fast, just the way it goes through things. Whereas the OnePlus visually looks a little more pleasing to me. It just kind of, just the way they think the animations look, the visual effects are just nice. And you can change animations between enhanced and relaxed. However, there's no doubt about it that both of these on the day-to-day, they're just speed demons, both of them. There's just no way around it. The software on both is going to do a good job. But I would say from a productivity standpoint, I think the Samsung is the productivity powerhouse. OnePlus is right there as well, but it's more of the software is a little bit more, I would say a little bit more animation heavy, but some people might like that. Visually, to me, it looks a little bit better. But from a pure productivity standpoint, just the shape, the S Pen, this one over here is probably the move. This one for gaming and daily use just feels a little bit nicer to use. So that's just my take on it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the app speed now. Alright guys, so everything is closed out for both phones. You can see no recently opened applications. Let's go ahead and head into calendar. And that seemed to launch a little faster on the Samsung. Coming out, they look about the same. We'll go into clock. About the same there. Stopwatch, timer. And let's go over here to alarm. And you can see basically there's not much in it. Let's go to calculator. A little faster there on the Samsung. We'll go into Play Store. I think that was the OnePlus. Now, unlike with the iPhone, these are going to be probably a bit closer because they're both running the same Android 16. They're just on different skins. But you could see right there coming out, both of them good. We'll go into ChatGPT. Little bit, that was actually close. I think the pop-up just confused me a bit. Let's go to Gemini. Faster on the right. We'll go into Grok. And that was about even. Copilot. About the same once again. And we'll swipe up out of there. We'll go into X. That looks faster on the OnePlus. Let's go to profile page. We'll take a look at my post here. As we scroll through, let's swipe up out of here. You can go into Instagram. And we'll go over here to my profile. We'll take a look at my orange iPhone photo, pinch to zoom. As we scroll through, not a huge deal of a difference here. So let's swipe up out of here and let's go into Groupon. And if I click the X right there, let me get up out of here first. Continue as guest. Let's go over here to categories. We'll go over here to, how about oil change and maintenance? Have you got your oil change lately? Let's go ahead and scroll through here. And let's swipe up out. And let's go into Dead Trigger 2. And you'll see that was faster on the right. OnePlus does have its gaming core, and that one was quicker on the Samsung. I thought the OnePlus was going to take this phone to school, but it's not looking that much different for day-to-day applications. Let's go over here. I think, though, when you push the phone, the OnePlus probably will pull ahead, and it does have a smoother 165 hertz display for gaming. And you'll see Samsung slightly opens that faster, but this is just going to show how fast these chips are getting and that the year-over-year differences are not going to be as substantial as they might have once been. But you'll see OnePlus is pulling ahead, it looks like, but it could be, yeah, it was OnePlus on that one. Let's swipe up out of here. We'll go into Call of Duty, and you'll see OnePlus is in the lead, it looks like. So now that we're getting into gaming and we're pushing the phone a bit, it looks like the OnePlus is jumping ahead. This could change, though. We'll see what happens. Who's going to get there? Yep, I think it's the OnePlus here on Call of Duty. And this game actually supports the 165 hertz display. And so therefore, you actually will have a smoother gameplay on the OnePlus for this particular game and the ones that do support 165 hertz gameplay. So here we are in the PUBG Mobile, and we'll see which one can get here first. Now, I do have to state that the Samsung does have a little bit of a larger display, but the curved edges of the OnePlus is more comfortable to hold. Both of them do have pretty good thermals, so you don't have a real big issue with that. The OnePlus, though, does have significantly longer battery life, though, so I probably would choose that phone for gaming just because of the simple fact I could game longer on that device. Let's go over here to the Destiny Rising, and they do seem to be loading at a similar clip here. Samsung and OnePlus neck and neck here on this Destiny Rising game. I think the OnePlus might be in the lead here. This is updating some files, but I think that was doing the same thing. So you'll go over here, tap anywhere to start, and we're going to be in here first on the OnePlus 15. So it looks like this is actually doing an update. Actually, I thought they were downloading the same thing. So this is actually updating. We're going to have to rerun this test. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to have to close these out, and we're going to go ahead and run Destiny Rising one more time, and we're going to see which one can actually get to the home screen first and get into the game. Now, this is one of my favorite games that I play right now, just because graphically it looks beautiful. It's fun to play, but it does require a flagship phone for, I would say, the best gameplay. I think you could play it on some good mid-rangers as well, no problem. This might choke up lower end phones, but these phones right here handle this thing like it's nothing. So definitely, let's see what happens here. And Samsung, no, it looks like Samsung was about to load it. Oh, it's doing that thing where if I'm logged in on one account, it closes me out on the other. But OnePlus won it, because if Samsung won it, it would have closed out the OnePlus. So let's go over here to 3D Mark, and you'll see faster on the OnePlus. We'll go into Speed Test Net. A little bit faster on the OnePlus. Oh, I had those in the... Oh my goodness. That was so backwards. Let's go ahead and put this right here. I don't know why I do that. Like, I missed one application lined up. How long we been doing this? Come on, Nick, bro. Let's go into InShot here. You can see not a big deal anyway. We'll go into Geekbench 6. And a hair quicker to the Samsung. If you take a look at this test, though, the OnePlus punching way above its weight because it's cost less, and it beat the Samsung, I would say, in more apps than the Samsung was winning. The Samsung definitely at the same level, though, really, in most day-to-day apps, though. So I don't think for people using a Galaxy S25 Ultra, they got to jump to a OnePlus 15, but, you know, for day-to-day use. But for the 165 hertz, for the big battery, it could be something that interests you. But the cameras, I would probably go with the S25 Ultra. Let's go ahead and take a look at the RAM management now. So this is where the OnePlus 15 absolutely shines. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This thing opens every single application in the background like butter. It feels like it's just sliding off your finger, literally like butter. Now Gemini does this little delay thing. Let's go over here, but that's not related to the OnePlus. Gemini does that on all Android phones. But I mean, look at this. This is absolutely amazing performance here. I know you're saying I don't open apps like that, and I'm not saying that you do, but what I'm saying is that why that's important is because let's say you are doing something quickly, like for example, you are doing something in Gemini here, and then you want to go back, flip back over to your game, come out of there, and then maybe you're like, I'm done gaming for a minute. Let me go ahead and check out that appointment I had on my calendar. You'll just see that there's just everything's open and super smooth and fluid for just day-to-day tasks. Now, the Galaxy S25 Ultra is also smooth, but in a different way. You're going to see right here, it is a little bit slower on the animations. It does have, I did enable to like that where you can just kind of swipe from the bottom, but you've seen Subway Surfers got choked up a little bit there. I don't know what's going on with Dead Trigger there. Let's go into Groupon. Yeah, see, these animations, they're nice. Don't get it wrong. They're much better than before, but they are not OnePlus 15 good. So you could see right there, Samsung had like the best animations on the latest One UI versions. OnePlus already was doing good on the 13, but they had some of the best here. And now I think OnePlus is far ahead of them here in this area. If we take a look, like let's show you what I was doing earlier. So when I scroll through, I don't know if you see this, but as I'm scrolling through here, this does look a little bit different than the OnePlus. Like it looks a little bit slower to respond to what I'm doing. So if I am multitasking heavy, this one might feel a little bit slower. So, you know, if you want the top speed, I just feel like the OnePlus 15 is the phone right now. I think the clock speeds in Geekbench explains why the OnePlus is just slightly quicker. You'll see it's only slightly clocked higher on the first cluster at 3.63, 3.53 on the Samsung, and 4.61 on the second cluster, and 4.47 on the Samsung. But I think this is going to change once the S26 Ultra comes out. I do think that phone is going to be an overclocked chip, so it's probably going to take right back the title of being like the fastest Android phone. So we'll see what happens here in Geekbench 6. We'll see what kind of scores they can pull in, and I'll be back when they're done. And once again, in another speed test, another comparison, monstrous scores on Geekbench 6 for the OnePlus 15. Nearly 2,000 points there on the OnePlus over the multi on the Samsung, with 700 points better on the single core. So it's clear to say the OnePlus 15 is significantly better, at least in the benchmarks. We're going to go over here to 3D Mark now. We're going to run the Wildlife Extreme test, and we'll see what they get in graphics. I'm going to call it to the OnePlus. I've never tested these yet, so this is happening right now, first time. I'm going to see. I'm calling it the OnePlus. I just think it's going to win. So let me know your thoughts. Take your pick. We'll be back when they're done. And the OnePlus has taken the victory, as I expected, 67-13. You know what? I want to actually check the heat on these both really quickly, as they're both pretty warm right now, to see which one is hotter. Right out the gate, we'll use this temperature thing right here, and you'll see 111. So definitely pushing them. Let's check the Samsung. It had slightly longer to cool down, but at 112.2, 112.8. Both of them get more warm up in this top area, but the Samsung reaches a higher temperature. So OnePlus is doing better with the cooling than the Samsung phone. So more efficient device here. 67-13 on the overall score, 40 frames per second. And you'll see scoring better than 98% of devices on the market. That is absolutely ludicrous. If you'll see over here on the right, 5277. And while the Samsung might look like it's towering over the OnePlus, it's not in the CPU. You'll see 31 FPS. And down here, you'll see 94% better than other devices on the market. Now, at these levels, we are talking about not a substantial real-world change for most people. But when you're pushing these in the area of mostly graphically console-demanding games, I do think that's where the OnePlus will pull ahead. Maybe even some video rendering or something like that, but there are a few better video applications and usage with the Samsung, especially with the S Pen. So I probably would pick this for content creation. This over here on the left for gaming. All right, so let's go ahead and run the Wi-Fi speed test now and see which one can pull in a better result, with the OnePlus pulling in around 400 to 350 right now. Now, these are on the same server, so they should showcase which is going to be maybe a little bit better with this type of performance. And of course, it's going to be dependent on your servers, wherever you're at and stuff of that sort. And you'll see 473 down. And it also depends too on whatever internet service provider you're using and type of plan you picked. But that's good enough for me right now. You'll see right there 473 down on the left. And over here on the right, 350. Can the Samsung catch up? Because it doesn't look like it's going to right here. Same server, 334. And about the same on the upload, 41. And I think Samsung's going to take them on the upload. So a little bit better there, I would say, overall for the OnePlus. But generally, I have found that the actual network performance there's not much in it. Both of them do really good in that department. So that's a good thing for those of you out there who care about stuff like that. Let's go ahead now and do a quick camera launch just to see which one does a better job here. Now, what I'm going to do is pull the camera up there and pull it right here. Or else I'm going to drop the phones. So let's go ahead and do it in 3, 2, go. And to me, that was a little faster, I think, on the OnePlus. We'll do that again. Yeah, a little bit faster on the OnePlus. And the OnePlus is using the Detail Max engine computational photography to improve its results, as the camera hardware is not quite as good as some of the competition. But zooming in, pretty smooth there. Samsung zoom to me is super long, but it's a little choppy when zooming through the lenses there. The OnePlus is very smooth, I think, by comparison. It also goes 120 times. But both of these, once you start hitting those 100 range zooms, they are definitely quite a bit digital noise. So I probably wouldn't go with that option. So wrapping it up here, the OnePlus 15 has taken another W. It's like the fastest phone I have right now, I think, in my lineup. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra still more powerful than the OnePlus in certain areas, including the S Pen support. The overall cameras are probably a bit better. They have certain applications and ecosystem that just cannot be matched if you like the Samsung ecosystem. But from a pure performance perspective and battery life perspective, I probably would pick the OnePlus 15. This is a very seriously impressive phone. So that's it. That's the OnePlus 15 versus Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Both beastly, but I think the next comparison on the lookout you want to be subscribed for is the Galaxy S26 Ultra, which should be coming within the next 6 months, probably way before that, actually, probably within the next few months. So be subscribed, stay tuned, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Nick here. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well and have a great rest of your Sunday. Peace.